For any business operating in Bangladesh, tax isn't just a line item on a budget. It's really the fundamental framework your entire operation is built on.
It absolutely is.
Right.
We're talking about the money that funds everything. National services, infrastructure, public health.
But for you, if you're a corporate leader or a business owner listening, compliance often feels like, well, a bewildering labyrinth.
It can be, yes.
The stakes are incredibly high. And the challenge isn't just about calculating what you owe, is it? It's about mitigating risks with the NBR, the National Board of Revenue, and making sure your growth isn't, suddenly interrupted. So today, we're doing a deep exploration into managed tax compliance assistance. What is it? What problems does it solve? And why is it so essential for operating here? Okay, let's unpack this.
That's the perfect way to frame it. So often the discussion about tax is only about policy, the rates, the deductions.
Right.
But what's crucial to understand is that tax administration is tax policy in action. The quality of that administration really determines who pays, who doesn't, and how much is actually collected.
And what does that administration look like here?
Well, you have to appreciate the job of the administrators in 𝗙cie. They're being pulled in two completely opposite directions.
Okay.
On one side, they have to ramp up much stricter enforcement to fight large-scale evasion. We're talking about complex international structures, good corporations using transfer pricing.
So that's the big game hunting side of it, chasing the largest entities, trying to minimize their global tax footprint.
Precisely. But at the exact same time, they have this massive burden of assisting and guiding smaller local businesses who are just confused.
Confused by the complexity.
Yes. Think about VAT, the value-added tax, or just the number of schedules you need for a corporate filing.
Okay.
Small firms miss deductions or file incomplete returns simply because the process is so opaque.
So the MBR is using resources to chase sophisticated profit shifting while also dealing with, I imagine, just mountains of unintentional errors from firms that are actually trying to comply.
That's the tension. And our research shows that this complexity is often why businesses fail to meet what we call the 4 pillars of compliance.
The 4 pillars. Let's break those down. Every business professional needs to know these.
They do. They govern your entire relationship with the MBR. So first, you need proper registration. Your TIN, or Taxpayer Identification Number, has to be current and correctly registered.
Simple enough. What's number 2?
Second is timely filing, lodging all your documents on time. A missed deadline is an immediate red flag.
Okay, so registration and timely filing, 2 down.
Third is reporting complete and accurate information. This is where good record keeping is just non-negotiable. And finally, the 4th pillar, timely payment of all your obligations.
And if any one of those pillars falls, you're officially non-compliant. What we find fascinating is, for a growing business that wants to do the right thing, which one breaks most often?
It's often reporting and timely filing. As a business scales, the sheer volume of information needed, categorizing every single expense, every withholding transaction, it just becomes overwhelming.
And that brings us to the solution: managed tax compliance assistance. We're talking about a unified approach, like the specialized teams at Payroll Bangladesh, who bring in chartered accountants, tax attorneys,
and professionals with direct NBR experience. They take on that complexity for you.
Let's start with the basics, the core services. The first is obvious but critical: tax return preparation and filing.
Right. Getting corporate and individual returns done accurately and on time. It sounds simple, but it eliminates those huge late filing penalties.
But the real day-to-day risk, especially for firms with a lot of local employees or suppliers, that has to be withholding tax compliant.
Oh, absolutely. This is incredibly complex because you are basically acting as a tax collector for the government.
How so?
You have to correctly calculate and deduct taxes at source TDS on payments to suppliers, contractors, and employees. Then you have to remit those collections to the MBR every single month.
And getting that wrong is an easy way to get a call from the NBR.
One of the quickest ways. Managed assistance makes sure that whole process, the calculation, deduction, and the mandatory monthly filing, is flawless.
So that's the immediate operational risk. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, to corporate stability, you need services that look ahead, right?
Yes, you move into proactive risk mitigation. This means doing periodic tax compliance reviews. These aren't audits. They're deep dives to spot weaknesses before the NBR finds them.
Like a corporate health checkup.
Exactly. And that goes hand in hand with ongoing regulatory and compliance advisory. Tax laws here change frequently. A dedicated team ensures your business practices stay in good standing.
And what about getting money back from the NBR? We know tax refunds can be a very slow, complicated process.
Absolutely. And that's why specialized support for tax refund claims is so important. It requires meticulous documentation and persistent follow-up to get that money back. Without an expert, that capital can be tied up indefinitely.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for anyone focused on growth. Moving from just compliance to active financial optimization. Services like tax planning and advisory.
This is where you turn tax management from a cost center into a real competitive advantage.
How does that work specifically?
It's highly contextual. It involves strategic financial analysis. It means legally minimizing your liabilities by structuring transactions correctly or timing capital expenditures to maximize allowances.
And for many of our listeners, their business crosses borders. International transactions add whole new layers of complexity.
That's where the really high-value services come in: international tax and cross-border support. This is crucial for advising on global transactions and, importantly, navigating double taxation avoidance treaties.
Making sure you aren't paying the same tax twice.
A huge risk that can complicate investment. And for any multinational operating here, the most scrutinized area is probably transfer pricing.
Right. If a local subsidiary is paying a fee to its parent company abroad, the NBR is watching very closely.
Very closely. They want to know if it's a legitimate fee or a way to shift profits out of the country.
So compliance here is non-negotiable.
Absolutely not. The documentation required is incredibly rigorous. Managed compliance ensures you have everything prepared. The master file, the local file, proving your internal pricing is fair. It prevents massive penalties.
But that level of strategic oversight sounds expensive. How does a mid-sized firm justify that?
It's an insurance policy. The cost of getting transfer pricing wrong, we're talking millions in back taxes and penalties, is far, far greater than the cost of getting it right from the start.
And even with all that perfect preparation, the risk of an audit or a dispute, it's always there.
It is. And that's when you need professional third-party representation. Managed assistance includes full tax audit support. The experts handle all communication with the NBR, manage the documentation, and represent you in hearings.
And if the audit doesn't go your way?
Then the support extends to dispute resolution and appeals. You get professional legal representation through the entire appeals process, defending the financial health of your business.
Okay, so we've covered the what. Let's crystallize the why. The direct value for the business leader. We see three fundamental advantages. First, the most immediate one, compliance assurance. It's the peace of mind that you are aligned with the NBR's shifting rules, eliminating that risk of penalties.
Peace of mind is huge. It lets your internal team focus on their actual jobs.
Second is smart tax management. This is the strategic part, using experts to find every legal opportunity for tax savings and efficiency, which boosts your after-tax revenue.
And to elaborate on that, it often moves beyond just the company. It becomes about comprehensive wealth management for the owners. We're talking proactive strategies to lower overall liability.
Like what?
For high net worth individuals, it could mean preparing a will or setting up structures like irrevocable trusts. These are vital tools for long-term estate tax planning and asset protection.
So it's about protecting wealth for the next generation, too.
Exactly. And the third advantage, which executives love, is focus on core business. You outsource this huge administrative burden so your team can concentrate on what actually generates revenue.
And the success of this whole relationship really hinges on trust.
It has to. And trust is built on transparency. When you look for assistance, say, from a provider like Payroll Bangladesh, the fee structure has to be crystal clear.
No surprise bills.
None. The best model is an upfront flat fee based on the complexity of the work. It should be explicit. No additional or hidden charges.
And no ticking clock every time you pick up the phone.
That's the real mark of trust. No hourly rate for phone calls or meetings. It means you can get expert advice whenever you need it without hesitation, which is invaluable in this environment.
That clarity and predictability are a huge differentiator. So, to summarize our exploration today, for business leaders in Bangladesh, expert tax compliance assistance is really the essential shortcut. It gives you legal security with the NBR and drives financial efficiency.
It transforms an area of major operational risk into a platform for growth.
A perfect summary.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to consider. Given how fast tax laws are evolving, what single proactive step, be it a comprehensive tax review or engaging in strategic planning advice, could you take right now to mitigate your biggest unknown tax risk for the coming year and turn a potential threat into a real opportunity?
A question worth considering immediately. That's all the time we have for this conversation.